Alright, trying to position my camera. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is CJ Extreme, and I'm doing a new series where I talk about different wrestlers or different things going on in wrestling, and I have my thoughts and opinions that I share on whatever topic I choose to talk about. I said talking, and that's not a word. Sorry. So right now we're going to talk about John Cena. So I named the video The Inspirational Cena. So basically what I'm going to talk about is like the history that I have, like what I know about John Cena basically. Going to analyze his moveset, compare him to other wrestlers, and just talk about, why I think he should be respected. Okay. So first, I started watching John Cena like as soon as he started out. I mean, I wasn't his #1 fan. Like, I didn't watch every single match he had, but I usually was there for his matches, like most of the time. Like when I saw him fight Kurt Angle, that was interesting to me because it was like, okay, I don't really like Kurt Angle, but he is a good wrestler. I was like, how old was I when John Cena debuted? Like 2002? Wow, so I don't know. I was 4. I mean, at that time, I probably was just like, oh, wrestling, just watch it. But from what I remember, Kurt Angle was talking about how he's the best wrestler. And Cena comes out, and, he accepts Kurt Angle's open challenge. And then they fight, but Kurt Angle can't really wrestle Cena because Cena's not wrestling. He's brawling. He's doing like quick body slams, not doing like any Greco-Roman style kind of wrestling. So it kind of threw Kurt Angle off in that match. He still lost, but that's what happened. So when he went from like Thugonomics to the cartoony archetype, he was like, how do I say it? He was kind of like Hulk Hogan in a way. Like he was more focused on, never give up, or, fighting for what you believe in, or whatever. And I didn't really like it at that time, because I was like, this dude keeps winning. It's so annoying. Like, why won't he lose? Because when he won the WWE Championship from JBL, it was okay, because I didn't like JBL, and I was like, okay, finally someone took the title from him. Great, good job, Cena. Good guy, Cena, But he hung on to it for so long, and it was just like, lose the title. Someone beat him. And when Edge beat him, Edge became my favorite wrestler because he took down Cena. That's when I was a kid. But like, in the future, like, right after, when was it? Let's see, it was after his rivalry with Randy Orton, like near the end of it. At least from, like the 2010 where it was like John Cena and Randy Orton over and over again, like at Breaking Point, Bragging Rights, Hell in a Cell. They kept fighting each other over and over, and that's when I started to like them because the matches were more entertaining, at least to me. I mean, he's never been a good wrestler, and that's one thing I don't understand. Like, people say he can't wrestle, but it's like, what exactly is wrestling? Like, what do you have to do to prove you're a great wrestler? Because he's very consistent. He's been there for 10 years, and he's still doing the same stuff. He left Big Show, like, early in his career, did an attitude adjustment on him, and he can still do that 10 years later. So that's pretty cool. That's impressive all in itself. Now on the screen you see him fighting Stone Cold. That's what I'm going to do real quick. Well, that's what I'm going to do while I talk later on in this video. Or not really too late, soon enough. But yeah, consistent wrestler. Yeah, he does have an arsenal that's like repetitive. Like he kind of does the same stuff all the time. Like he has 2 shoulder blocks, the sit outside slam. You got the clotheslines, the attitude adjustment, the STFU. Didn't really have that vast of a moveset, but nowadays he does. Like he can do a Hurricane Rana sometimes. Barely do a Hurricane Rana, but he can do it. A drop kick sometimes. He can do a half Nelson neck breaker, which is on this game, which is pretty impressive. Springboard stunner. Like when I saw that, that completely threw me off because I never seen him do anything that impressive. He's got a leg drop bulldog, which is kind of like the famouser, but he does it off the top rope instead of like right by your head, like Dolph Ziggler or Billy Gunn. Now, I don't know. I keep trying to clear my voice. Can't really do it. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the way I talk. I don't know. When he's in a match, he usually brings out the best in his opponents. At least from what I've seen over the past couple of years, since about 2012, he seemed to be able to, you know, he would do the same regular moves. He'd always do the 5 moves of dooms, what people call it. He would still do that, but at the same time, you would get to see his opponent's moves, kick out at you, and stuff like that. And people say that he buries talent when he faces them. Like Zack Ryder, when he beat Zack Ryder in Long Island for the United States Championship. That wasn't him burying Zack Ryder. I completely disagree because Zack Ryder got to do a lot of stuff and Cena kicked out at 2. It wasn't like Zack Ryder did like the broski boot and then he went for the Rough Rider and Cena kicks out at 1 and then Cena had 2 adjustments and it's over. No, because they did a bunch of other stuff other than just that, you know. So it's not really fair to say that he just buried Zack Ryder. Now, you want to talk about getting squashed or getting buried, look at Kane versus like Chavo or Hulk Hogan versus Yokozuna when Yokozuna had just beaten Bret Hart for the WWF Championship. Or look at Hulk Hogan versus Sergeant Slaughter, which a match that only lasted like 6 minutes, like nothing really even happened. So, I mean, those are people getting buried because they didn't really do anything. He didn't bury Stardust either. He didn't. Because if you look at the match, Stardust kicked out, I believe. Didn't he kick out of Attitude Adjustment? I can't really remember. I know he lost via STF, I think. I can't remember. Either way, he got to pull out a lot of stuff from his arsenal, so it wasn't like Cena just beat the hell out of him and that was it. Now, Cena squashed Darren Young. I'll give you that. He did squash Darren Young at one point. He squashed The Undertaker one time on Raw. It was like the draft or something like that. He beat him in 6 minutes. I don't know if that was because of time or they were just like, whatever. It's John Cena. It was just, I hated that. That was during the time I didn't really like Cena when he was WWE champion. He's a 15-time champion, so I could see why people don't like that. They say face of the company, so they're just, oh, he kisses businessman's ass, so he gets to get all these privileges and such. I think he earned that stuff, because if you think about it, Ric Flair, a 16-time champion, you think he got there by like kissing his boss's ass? No, he actually won the title 16 times, deservedly, kind of like Cena, or kind of like Randy Orton. You know, they have to work to get to that point. They have to do something to get something out of it, basically. Does he sell merchandise? Yes, he does, because a lot of children like John Cena because he's like the never give up gimmick. It inspires children, which is why it's called the Inspirational Cena, because he inspires children to, you know, pull through. And some adults are inspired by Cena too, like some of the veterans in the U.S. military. They like Cena because, you know, he's a stand-up guy, and people don't want to see that, and they want to think about, you know, his personal life. They want to think about where he is in the business, like he doesn't deserve what he has, and other people do. But if you think about it, if anyone else was in John Cena's shoes, would you boo them? I mean, think about Hulk Hogan. For years, about 10 years worth of WrestleManias, just about, not exactly, but just about, he was at WrestleMania beating people, just winning and winning and always winning. I mean, he lost to Ultimate Warrior. He lost to the Rock. I just like burped in the middle of that. But, you know, he was beating people like King Kong Bundy. He wasn't really putting over other talent. And people today like Hulk Hogan, even though he is kind of an egomaniac. This, at least what I take from my perspective on Hulk Hogan. turn up the volume a little bit. So what I'm gonna do when this match starts, what I'm gonna do basically, I'm gonna speak from John Cena's perspective, because he does get a lot of hate. I don't think people respect him at all, honestly. Most people who don't like Cena, I don't think they respect him. And that kind of annoys me. That's why I kind of made this video. That's kind of why I started this series. Like, there's Cena right there.
The following contest is an Iron Man match. The superstar who scored the most pinballs in.
And see, when he comes out right here, people are like, John Cena sucks. John Cena sucks. And they're singing along to the song, you know. And Cena's trying to do his thing. He just keeps going. He runs to the ring, doesn't waste your time. He goes straight to the ring, runs in, he gets ready. People are cheering, the little children are cheering. But the fans are like, boo, you suck, you suck. You're like Superman, you never lose, you suck, and you just keep going, you suck. He just keeps going forward, you suck. And then look, throws his hat, and still saying you suck. And he's still going. He's still going, doing his thing, because that's what John Cena does. Still got the same theme song for about how many years? I don't know, a very long time, I should say. I don't really know. Now his finisher, I'll be honest, isn't all that effective, but there's a lot of wrestlers who have finishers that aren't really that effective. Like, they don't seem effective. Like the Stone Cold Stunner. Like, if you got hit with that in real life, would you really stay down? You know, would you really be beaten? And I mean, Cena's kind of like Austin in a lot of ways, because he and Austin are very similar, because John Cena was kind of like a striker. He would do some grappling moves. Well, he does some grappling moves. But at the same time, he's more so focused on punches and attacks rather than grappling. And people say, oh, you can't wrestle because he doesn't perform to the high degree that people in Ring of Honor, or, you know, someone like Seth Rollins, or someone like Kevin Owens, someone like Sami Zayn, Adrian Neville. All those people can do all this stuff, amazing stuff. And Cena is just kind of like, well, I'm going to do my own thing, you know? He wants to do his own thing. And if John Cena were to do like 450 splashes and moonsaults and stuff like that, would you cheer him? You still probably wouldn't, because people don't really respect Cena. But he's done a lot of great things for his for this business. Like, he's really been like a die-hard competitor. Like, he gets injured, comes back, and people are like, no, he's still on top, because it's kind of like Superman. Superman doesn't have a lot of different attacks. Basically, I'm playing against myself here. So, Superman doesn't have a lot of different attacks. So, let's just show you kind of what happens in John Cena's matches. So, John Cena does something like this. Hold on. There you go. He got, like, you know, go behind, stuff like that. Doing moves. Maybe he puts him in, like, behind the back. Goes for the arm. Goes for the head. Something like that. He just does regular wrestling moves, little grappling holds to start off the match, and they would try to pick up the pace. Maybe he'll do something like a hip toss, and then he might come off the ropes like this, boom, shoulder block, and people are like, boo, you can't do that, because, you know, they don't like Cena. Another shoulder block, right? And then he'll like try to do something else, and then he gets reversed by his opponent, and see right there, the people just go nuts, and look, and then he gets beat up, and when he gets beat up, everyone's cheering, yeah, Cena's getting beat up, woohoo, because we don't like Cena. And it's just ridiculous, because, you know, they do this for some other wrestlers, but Cena seems to get the most hate when he doesn't need it, because he's a face. And that's kind of what his gimmick is. He's a face, and he's a goody two shoes, and he likes to do, you know, the right thing. What he feels is the right thing. And it depends on your morals. If you want to talk about John Cena's personal life, it depends on your morals, or what you think of, like, what he did. Like, basically, probably the worst thing I can think of that he did in terms of personality or personal life, you know, his history or whatnot. Probably the worst thing I could tell you that he did was when he cheated on his ex-wife. Well, was when she was his wife, obviously. And, you know, he did, that was wrong. Wasn't right. I agree. It wasn't right. But do you really want to focus on just that? Like, think about Seth Rollins basically cheating on his fiance. and people are like, oh, you're a scumbag, whatever, and they moved on. But there's some people who still hate John Cena just because of that. They can't move on from the past and think about what he's doing now. They want to think about what he's done previously. Well, in the past, I guess. Like, oh, maybe he did, what was it? Who was it? Maybe he did win a lot of WrestleMania matches, but The Undertaker won like freaking 20 of them. And you respect Undertaker, but he didn't really have a lot of moves, did The Undertaker, but he was a great performer. And Cena is also a great performer because he takes a beating like so, and then he just gets back up because that's his gimmick. He's supposed to get beat down, get back up, come back, and, solve the problem. And sometimes people will get over, like Brock Lesnar or like Kevin Owens, but him coming back with the rematch, now you may be like, oh, they're only doing that because he's John Cena, that's why he gets a rematch. No, he gets a rematch because that's a part of his gimmick. Even though he lost, he comes back for more, regardless of losing. And if anyone remembers, remember when Stone Cold was inducted to the Hall of Fame, he passed the torch to Cena, because they're very similar in a lot of ways. For example, they both do the Luthez press. They both don't really wrestle, They both focus more on some grapples, but mostly strikes. And they both can sometimes pull out something surprising. Like Stone Cold, you might see him reverse some really cool move right into a Stone Cold Stunner, which is pretty impressive. Or you might see, John Cena do like a springboard stunner out of nowhere, like I said earlier, or when he was fighting Kevin Owens at Money in the Bank, and he pulls out a sunset flip powerbomb. That was insane. Like, ridiculous. And some people said he buried Sami Zayn. Now that is just absolutely stupid. Come on, he didn't bury Sami Zayn. Get out of here. I mean, Sami Zayn's shoulder was hurt. That's what happened. He's like pulled out his shoulder while he was taunting. I mean, Kevin Owens will take credit for that, and it may be because of Kevin Owens. I could, you never know. It could be because of Kevin Owens. We don't really know. But all I know is that, I don't really think John Cena's burying anyone. He just does what he does because he earned it. That's why he's where he is. Which is kind of the point I'm trying to make in this video. If you disagree, I understand, because there's going to be people who disagree with me. There's going to be people who like Cena, who don't like Cena. There's going to always be that crowd who just never like Cena because of where he is today, and they don't really think he deserves it. I can compare him to many other wrestlers too, like Roman Reigns. Well, Roman Reigns I can compare to John Cena because John Cena was there first. So Roman Reigns, again, not a lot of moves, not a lot of charisma. He doesn't have really good mic skills, but he's there not just because, the women like him or whatever. It's mostly because he just has that presence that looks like this could be a top tier guy. It's a look that certain people have to have, which I probably won't have when I become a wrestler, but hey, you never know. But it's a certain look that certain wrestlers need to have, like Hulk Hogan, the jacked up, roided dude who is just like, eat your vitamins, say your prayers, you get muscles like me, trying to inspire kids. And John Cena's like the guy who never gives up. And I keep bringing back that point because he just stuck to his gimmick. That's why it's been like that for so long. And to be honest, it does suck that he's like still this never give up dude. He's been like that for so long. That does suck because it's like there's no diversity. There's always same old with Cena. It just gets boring at certain points. And I agree with that. I agree with you when you say that. But I just don't agree with just like, oh, well, because he does the same moves all the time, he must suck. Or, because he is on top, he sucks because the guy I want to be on top isn't on top, but Cena is. That's the way it seems to me. Because, why not, people will say, why isn't Ziggler, a top tier guy? And he should be, I agree, but at the same time, it's like, well, Cena earned it. He earned it. And Ziggler earned some stuff too, but right now, he's got to really, show that he belongs in the main card. He's shown that he can take on the main, guys or whatnot. But he hasn't really shown how much he deserves to be on the main card, basically. And I want Ziggler to be WWE World Heavyweight Champion. So I'm not taking a knock on Ziggler. I don't hate Ziggler. No, I like Ziggler. I do. Like Ziggler when he debuted. I like when he fought Batista. That's like when I really started to pay attention to him. Anyway, so back to Cena. So still, I get it. I get why, some people don't like Cena. He's like Superman, always winning, same old all the time. Same old moves, 5-knuckle shuffle, stealing moves from people. And that's one thing I don't get. Stealing moves. Come on. Stealing moves. He stole the freaking 5-knuckle shuffle. He started doing that just like The Rock. And I already did that spot. I don't know why I did that again. But The Rock already did this. Why is he doing it too? And like Hulk Hogan had a running leg drop. Stone Cold had a running elbow as well. And a lot of people had some running moves that they did on the ground. And you don't see anyone really talking about them. But because it's Cena, they talk about Cena. I don't know. I just don't think it's right. And John Cena puts up with a lot of hate. Like, he says he doesn't care, but I honestly think he does care. No matter what he says, I honestly think he is really, he does feel annoyed by the constant booing, like when he goes into a match, or the constant, Cena sucks chants. Even though he may seem like it's okay to have your opinion or whatnot, I'm pretty sure he wants to be respected for something, doing something in this business. And it seemed like there was a sign of light from the people watching wrestling, from the crowd, the WWE universe. There you go. It seemed like there was an uproar for Cena at Money in the Bank, because all of a sudden Cena was starting to get cheered because he did that sunset flip. It was so amazing. Speaking of other moves he can do a power bomb, which is great. He does some really cool stuff sometimes, and you don't hear anyone going, "Thank you, Cena." They're just booing him the entire time. So I think I've got out pretty much all I needed to get. Let me check my checklist real quick, because I did write down a couple of points I wanted to focus on. See if I got everything down. Let's talk about some more of his history, basically. Okay. The best matches for me watching John Cena, the best matches would be when he fought CM Punk. I think those are some of the best matches I've ever seen him in, because the two diverse styles and what they would do just seems so amazing to me, to see what Cena could do and what CM Punk could do in a high-profile match. I liked it a lot. And how about Cena versus Kevin Owens nowadays? Those are great matches as well. And Cena Jericho, Cena versus Shawn Michaels, Cena versus Triple H. Great matches. But, people just don't acknowledge that, and they just say, oh, he won, so it was a shitty match. Like, what if he just lost for, 2 years? All he did was lose. Would you boo him? Would you cheer him? What would you do? Because it seems like even if he just started to lose out of nowhere, you guys wouldn't respect him. And if you do, if people actually do, and speaking of 5 moves to doom, I'm going to do it right now. Anyway. But yeah. I mean, it just seems to me like people just hate Cena just because he's Cena. Not because he's a bad wrestler. Not because he doesn't perform like everybody else. It just seems like, well, he's been on top for so long, so I just want to see his downfall, basically. Alright, well, that's pretty much all I gotta say about Cena. If you disagree, if you think Cena still sucks, I mean, that's on you. I don't know. I respect the guy. I don't know why other people really don't, but hey. See how much time I got recorded here, about 24 minutes. Yeah, I was expecting this to be about 40 minutes long, but every time I expect that, I usually talk faster than I expect to talk. If you have a question, you can ask me in the comment section. I'm probably going to answer. But if you're just going to go in the comment section and just say, no, Cena sucks, like, then why are you here? Why the hell did you watch the video, you know? What was the point? And that's sometimes I don't really understand that. People will go to someone's music video, their theme song or something like that, and just dislike because they don't like Cena. I guess stupid. And you can say, oh, butthurt fanboys. No. Do you even know what a fucking fanboy is, to be honest? Do you even know? No, you honestly don't if you just keep saying, oh, you're defending Cena, so that makes you a fanboy, or you're defending something that you like, so that makes you a fanboy. No, see, we have different opinions than you do. That doesn't mean all of a sudden we're fanboys because we have a different opinion from you, you know? And people go there and say, Cena sucks. This guy's going to destroy Cena. Or, you know, when he was getting beat up by Brock Lesnar, haha, Cena got beat up by Brock Lesnar, he deserved it. He's an asshole. Like, what? What are you talking about? What did he do? You know? What did he do to really deserve anything, any of the hate that's held against him? In my opinion, he hasn't done much. But some people may disagree. I think I got pretty much all out I needed to say. So, I'll be doing these probably like every Friday or so. Maybe not, maybe so. I don't know. But anyway. I hope you enjoyed the video. You know, leave a like if you liked it. If you didn't like it, there really was no point to come here. But I'm not going to tell you not to dislike, because it's probably what you're going to do if you didn't like what I had to say. You're probably going to go in the comment section, whatever. But still. And I'm not even a super fan of Cena. I just did Cena first because I had more to say about him than I had for any other wrestler. So next time I do this, I'll probably be talking about the divas and the lack of respect that they get, and what maybe WWE could do with them to make them better. If they need, you know, any signs of improvement that they need to do. And I'll talk about, you know, you'll see. When we get there, you'll see. It'll be next Friday. But anyway, that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Whatever. Goodbye. And also don't forget to subscribe. I'm over here stuttering. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of my content.